Hi guys, Level Up here, and welcome to my first look at 1.8 on the PTS. This video I'm just going to cover very quickly the new exotics that they're bringing into the game. We're going to have a look at some of the new classified gear pieces and what the bonuses are. And I'm going to take a quick look at the new optimization station and see what that's all about. So as you can see, we're now in the new Camp Clinton sort of social space. And I'm going to take a look at the special equipment vendor and look at these new exotics. So first off, we've got the marksman rifle pairing of the Devil and the Heel. So if we look at the Devil, we can see both of them just at a glance are going to be high rate of fire MMRs. So the unique talent on the Devil is fire. Headshots increase stability by 30% for 15 seconds. And a body shot increases headshot damage by 30% for 15 seconds. Interesting. And as a pairing, both weapons gain both of these unique talents. So it's kind of like an alpha bridge, really, for these two sort of unique bonuses. And switching between the weapons is increased, or the switch speed is increased by 50% over the normal switching speed. So interesting. So you want to land a body shot first and then go for headshots and get increased stability whilst also getting that increased headshot damage. So that's quite a nice pairing. It's going to pair quite nicely with Sentry for sure, and also sort of Hexo builds. So looking at Heal, the Heal's special unique talent is hitting weak points increases weapon damage by 15% for 15 seconds, and hitting skill proxies increases crit damage by 30% for 15 seconds. So it's an interesting pairing. I think these two are way more situational, so you're going to be less likely to proc these bonuses. But, you know, that said, it's still quite interesting. So body shots, headshots, weak points, and skill proxies, hitting all those gives you different gives you different buffs for sort of 15 seconds apiece. So yeah, not too bad. I mean, certainly better than some of the MMR exotics we've already got, like Tenebrae and Historian. So I'll be quite keen to give those a try and see what they're like. So let's take a look at the house. So this is the new exotic SMG. So I think it's based on the MPX, as I said in State of the Game. So here we go. One half of the magazine does 25% increased damage. The half which deals increased damage flips after 10 seconds or when the magazine is empty. So I'm not sure what flips means, to be honest. The half which deals increased damage flips after 10 seconds. Wow, that's really, really hard to understand and is going to be really confusing when you're actually using it, I think. So this is kind of really situational, but I guess the upshot is basically half your magazine is going to be dealing 25% extra damage. So you can look at that as a kind of situational buff, but I don't like these kind of situational ones. So moving on, we've now got a new LMG exotic called the Big Alejandro, and this is interesting. It's a cover-based talent. So every bullet fired while in cover increases weapon damage by 0.5% up to a maximum of 50%. So that's 100 bullets. The bonus lasts for 10 seconds. Getting a kill with a weapon while in cover resets the duration. Bonus damage is cancelled by reloading, swapping weapons, or exiting combat. So you're going to want to run meticulous with this one, definitely. But it's interesting. So yeah, if you're firing behind cover, as long as you keep killing targets at least once every 10 seconds, you'll keep extending the buff. And as long as you're using meticulous, if you're getting sort of 4 kills on average, you should be able to keep your buff up to 50% extra damage. So yeah, that's interesting. That's going to pair really nicely with Lone Star 6-piece. So I will definitely be giving that a try. And it's good, you know, finally we've got a talent that actually benefits cover-based players. We need a lot more of this in the game, for sure. Right, so let's move on. I've got a bunch of classified caches here. So I'm going to go and have a look at what these new classified gear set bonuses are going to be. So let's open up the Firecrest cache. So here we go. So the 5-piece bonus is an extra incendiary grenade, 15% flame turret range and 10% flame turret damage. And the 6-piece improved Firecrest bullets have a 5% chance to cause an enemy to burn. Burning targets can cause a fiery explosion when killed by bullets once every 10 seconds. NPCs set on fire by your flame turret will burn 25% longer for every 2,000 electronics. Okay, interesting. Let's look at the defense set. So one thing to note here, look at the 3-piece or the 5-piece bonus as well. So we've got a new bonus, which is 10% ballistic shield damage resilience. So previously that was changed from ballistic shield health to damage to elites. They've now changed it so that the 3-piece talent is 10% ballistic shield damage resilience, and also the 5-piece. And now if we look at the 6-piece bonus, we've got improved frontline. This is a lot of text. When ballistic shield is deployed, melee damage is increased by 2000%, and all overhealing the player receives is applied to the shield instead of the player. After taking 500,000 damage, the ballistic shield grants a buff to the player and all group members within 30 meters for 5 seconds. The duration of the buff is increased by 1 second for every 2,000 stamina the player has. So if you take 500,000 physical damage, armor is increased by 20%, and if you take 500,000 exotic damage, then weapon damage is increased by 20%. So they're kind of going for something similar to what they've done with the final measure set. So if people are throwing grenades at you, you're going to basically want to absorb them effectively or jump in them, because as soon as you take 500,000 exotic damage, your team is going to get a 20% damage increase to their weapons. I'm not sure how viable that's going to be in PvE. PvP it might be better given the grenade issue. But you know, overall I don't think this is a particularly good 6-piece talent. After all the possibilities that they could have gone for, I was hoping for something like your ballistic shield gains all of the mods from all the 3 different skill mods, but no. So for me, I'm not 100% sure that I would want to use that. I think the 3 and the 5-piece change to ballistic shield damage resilience is a good change, but I don't think it's going to be good for sort of solo players or PvE players, to be honest, that 6-piece bonus. You might be still better off going for Barrett's chest. So anyway, moving on from D3, so let's have a quick look. I wanted to take a look at Hunter's Faith. They did say the whole set was getting a complete overhaul, but the descriptions are still the same as the old ones, and the 5-piece is still kind of the same as well. However, the 6-piece does give us a bit of a hint. So headshots double the gained increased damage bonus. So it sounds like the new 4-piece is going to grant some sort of increased damage. 2 consecutive missed shots are required to lose the bonus damage. So it sounds like Hunter's Faith is going to be changed to set the rewards, I would think, consecutive headshots. So we'll have to look out for the patch notes and see what it says, but that would be my assumption based on this 6-piece, which is good. I think that's a great change. They may be keeping the 3 and the 5 the same. So yeah, I mean, optimal range and headshot damage makes sense if it's a kind of consecutive headshot sort of gear set. Interesting change. We'll have to see what they come up with and what's confirmed, but yeah, I think that's what they're probably going for. Let's take a quick look at Predator's Mark now. So the 5-piece bonus is an extra 10% reload speed and 8% on assault rifle and SMG damage, as kind of expected based on the 3-piece. And the new 6-piece bonus is improved Predator's Mark. The damage over time to the target is increased by 150% for every 9,000 stamina, and you can get critical hits from the damage over time. Interesting, okay. I think that's a placeholder 9,000, so that's probably going to change because that's kind of stupid. But yeah, that's nice. So you basically get increased damage from the 4-piece. So now moving on to the Nomad set. So what we have now is 5-piece, an extra 10% health on kill, so that's nice, 25% overall. And improved Nomad's Resolve, so increases the amount of healing from Nomad's Resolve, and Nomad's Resolve will also now overheal, so that's good. Be interesting to see how much that extra is in terms of healing. And the 6-piece is now Nomad's Luck, 50% chance to have no cooldown for Path of the Nomad, and take 75% less damage for 10 seconds after you trigger the Path of the Nomad. So that's good. Sounds like a really good sustain set. It depends how strong this new healing is from the 5-piece, but I'm definitely interested to try it out. So it'll be very, very cool. Let's move on to Banshee now. So the 5-piece bonus is an extra 20% looted dizzy funds and a 5% extra damage out of cover targets. 6-piece, while Rogue, the time to clear Manhunt status is decreased by 5% for every group member within 10 meters. I think this is not correct because their Rogue 2.0, you don't have a timer anymore anyway, so I think that's probably incorrect. However, let's look at the other bit. While not Rogue, damage to Manhunt players is increased by 5% for each Manhunt level the player has, and rewards for killing a Manhunt player are improved. So that's good. So if you're up against a level 4 Manhunt, then you're going to be doing 20% extra damage to each of those players. So that's quite significant. It might make Banshee really the go-to set for Dark Zone, which is obviously what they're going for. So yeah, you're gonna find it difficult to come up with a better set than that. So you're getting 15% damage to targets out of cover, and 20% extra damage to players on a Manhunt level 4. So very strong bonus, I'd say, that one. So that's all the new bonuses covered. They did have classified caches for Alpha Bridge and Tacticians, but the 6-piece bonuses descriptions weren't there, so I think they're still very much in development, so I don't think there's much point in touching on those. Even though we did get a glimpse of the 5-piece bonuses, it's probably still subject to change, so we'll leave those ones out for now. But some interesting ones in there. I think for me, it looks like Hunter's Faith could be interesting once they confirm what the new 4-piece bonus is. And certainly I think Banshee will be very strong, especially obviously in the Dark Zone against Manhunts. And Firecrest could be quite strong. All these need testing really. The descriptions are quite interesting, but obviously until we go out and test them, it's quite hard to tell how strong they're going to be. So I will be doing that in some upcoming videos, giving them all a try out and seeing how they go. But for now, let's leave them alone and let's go up and have a look at the new optimization station. So as you can see upstairs, we've got a crafting table, we've got a new resistance leaderboards table there, and here we go, the new optimization station. So let's have a look. So you can see when I click on it, every optimization role is going to cost you 250,000 normal credits and 50 division tech. So the optimizations are going to affect the base damage of the weapon as well as the passive bonus of the weapon as well. So we try and roll the LVOAC. So we optimize it and we've jumped up, we've gained an extra 2% enemy armor damage. Base damage didn't really move. I think it was pretty much already like 99% optimized. 2 rolls and we've got almost maximum enemy armor damage there, so that's quite an increase. Let's have a look at the M44. So obviously it was already at the maximum for the headshot damage, and we're jumping up 2k each time on the base damage, and we're now fully optimized. So interesting. It's definitely going to take away a lot of RNG, because I mean, in the past, I've literally thrown away any MMR that had less than like 165% headshot damage. So it's going to make it a lot easier to roll up anything you find that's sort of fairly mediocre, as long as it's got a reasonably high base damage within the sort of 60 to 70% range, and you're going to be able to pretty much min-max it in a couple of rolls. So yeah, interesting. It's certainly strong. It's very strong. I'm not sure if it's too strong. It's costing 50 division tech each time you do this. Yeah, if you've picked up a fairly medium or a sort of medium to high damage roll already, then this is certainly going to be able to min-max it quite quickly. Let's have a look at what else we can do. So you can see that the marksman rifle damage has gone up by 9% per roll, and that is a huge amount. So you can have a really rubbish like 155 or 155% damage roll, and you just 2 rolls later and you've basically min-maxed it. So yeah, I don't know, it feels quite strong, maybe too strong. I don't know if it's a good thing that you can basically min-max any fairly mediocre weapon with 500,000 credits and 100 division tech. I mean, loot's raining from the sky now anyway, so you know, it's not that hard to find a well-rolled item. So yeah, I mean, I guess the point is that they want you to be as optimized as possible, because we've now got the new resistance mode coming, which is just basically how far can you get. I think that's kind of the point. It's going to be, here's all your min-max loot, go ahead and see how far you can get on this resistance mode, endless wave. I think that's where they're going for, sort of an end game for PvE players. So anyway, let's move on to the gear now. So we've seen how it works with the weapons. Let's have a look. Let's try and optimize this Barrett's vest here. So as you can see, again, look, we've got arrows on every single item. So when we roll it, it looks as though it's going to increase every single stat. We don't even have to choose sort of 3 or 4 items to optimize. It's just going to optimize the whole lot. Let's see how much. So armor's jumped up by 23. The main stat's gone up by 12. And yeah, we've jumped up on the other minors as well. So yeah, another 23 on the armor, 12 on the main stat, and we're pretty much min-max now on the others. 3 rolls, that's very close to being perfect. 4 rolls, pretty much perfect. So that's 200 division tech to turn a medium Barrett's chest into an absolute god roll. So I think it depends how hard it is. I haven't tried farming the division tech in the new Piers area, but if it takes probably a couple of hours to get 100 division tech, and you can sort of roll an item twice for that, yeah, I think it's quite strong. And they may want to tune it. They may think it's kind of making any drop worthwhile, really, because it's like, as long as you've got, the best thing to have is sort of the stats you want. It doesn't necessarily matter how high they are, because it looks as though, as long as they're sort of in the top 50%, then like a couple of rolls and you'll have it all pretty bang on. I mean, these are fairly rubbish skull gloves, but you can see that a couple of rolls is going to bring them up to pretty much what you want. 5, yeah, it's another 22 on the armour, and 12 on the main stat. So yeah, it's, if people are now, I think a lot of people are now sitting on like maxed out division tech, like 4,000, and that's going to be more than enough to basically completely optimize and min-max every piece of gear you've got. So like I said, if that's the case, then you know, it doesn't matter what you drop. All you're going to be looking out for is classified pieces now. There's going to be no real incentive to pick up any bit of gear that drops, apart from just to trash it for some materials or some cash. So there it is. That's how optimization works. You literally go in, select a piece, click a button, and for 50 division tech, 250,000 credits, all of your stats on that gear piece, including armor, will jump up by a fairly significant amount. So that's how optimization works. Obviously, it's probably going to get tuned over the course of the PTS, but for now, that's how it is. So that's it for the video. I will be covering some of the new gear sets in upcoming videos. I'll be taking a bit of a look around the new Westside Piers area and what the kind of division tech farming routes might be like. So there we go. Watch out for those upcoming videos. But for now, guys, that's it for me. Take care, and I'll see you next time.